We're already here.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
How about that? We're already here. Oh my gosh. And we're going to read to you from the Urantia book, but first we have yeah, yeah. 365 Days of Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean. Excuse me. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, today is May 16th.
16th or 15th? What is it? I think it's 15th. Yep, it's 15th. 15th. Okay.
The chest. Okay, this is by Rosalio Moises Ayaki. The chastisement of God is worse than any physical pain or sickness.
Right. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. And on this date in Native American history, having their federal tribe recognition stripped from them years before, which officially determined the Modoc, Wyandot, Peoria, and Ottawa Indian tribes of Oklahoma extinct. According to the United States government, their status as a living and breathing tribe was reinstated.
Okay, in 1978. So they were considered extinct.
Mm-hmm.
These people were extinct.
And they were reinstated.
Okay.
Well, good, because they're still
we
here.
need them.
They're still here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is some dark chocolate, man.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to eat it all.
I'm gonna. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Okay, and then we have the Tao Te Ching,
Mm-hmm.
translated and annotated by Derek Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Tao Te Ching.
Okay, you go.
Yield and remain whole. Bend and remain straight.
The Chinese have a saying, take one step back. The ocean is wide, the sky is empty. What it teaches us is that we yield in a potentially...
When we yield.
It teaches us that, thank you, when we yield in a potentially tense situation, we will suddenly feel a sense of wide open space and wide open heart. Some may see yielding as a sign of weakness. Tao cultivators see it as a manifestation of courage and character, amply rewarded by wide open vistas. Wow.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Be low and become filled. Be worn out and become renewed. Have little and receive.
Being low means being humble. To be filled is to receive abundantly. Just as lowly places tend to be filled with water, so too does a humble person receive an abundance of respect and goodwill.
Have much and be confused. Therefore the sages hold to the one as an example for the world, without flaunting themselves, and so are even seen clearly.
This line highlights an interesting paradox. Sages have no wish to show off or be highly visible in any way. This makes them unique in a world where most people love to draw attention to themselves. Ironically, their uniqueness makes them conspicuous. Okay.
Without presuming themselves, and so are distinguished, without praising themselves, and so have merit, without boasting about themselves, and so are lasting. Because they do not contend, the world cannot contend with them.
Like pliant plants, sages bend when the strong winds of contention blow. Because they do not get conscientious or defensive, others cannot contend against them. There's literally nothing to attack.
What the ancients called the one who yields and remains whole, were they speaking empty words? Sincerity, becoming whole, and returning to oneself.
Yielding, in the Taoist sense, does not mean suppressing the desire to fight. Instead, it means we relinquish the need to be defensive. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Our views do not gain validity when we defend them, nor do they lose validity when we choose not to defend them. Therefore, being defensive amounts to nothing more than a tremendous waste of energy.
Mm.
Yielding lets us save this energy to be directed to something more constructive.
Thank you.
Very good.
I like that one.
Okay. It's the full moon, right? So we gotta do an I Ching reading for the full moon.
It's a blood moon tonight.
It's a blood moon. Okay, so right up here, full moon. Oh, you know what? That's not today, it's tomorrow.
Was it tomorrow?
Right. Tomorrow would be the full moon.
Okay.
Because it's Monday. I was thinking it's Monday. But you know what? We'll skip it today.
Okay.
Do it tomorrow.
Good.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right. When is the full moon?
Here's the material suns.
Material suns. May 16th. Well, this is the flower moon. This is the flower moon.
Okay.
It says. It could also be a blood moon. But okay. Okay, so we're on paper 45, part 5. Section 5, the material suns.
I'll start.
Okay.
The great divisions of celestial life have their headquarters and immense preserves on Jerusalem, including the various orders of divine sons, high spirits, super angels, and midway creatures. The central abode of this wonderful sector is the chief temple of the material suns. The domain of the atoms is the center of attraction to all new arrivals on Jerusalem. It is an enormous area consisting of 1,000 centers, although each family of material sons and daughters lives on an estate of its own up to the time of the departure of its members for service on the evolutionary worlds of space or until their embarkation upon the paradise ascension career. These material sons are the highest type of sex reproducing beings to be found on the training spheres of the evolving universes. And they are really material. Even the planetary Adams and Eves are plainly visible to the mortal races of the inhabited worlds. These material sons are the last and physical link in the chain of personalities extending from divinity and perfection above down to humanity and material existence below. These sons provide the inhabited worlds with a mutually contactable intermediary between the invisible planetary prince and the material creatures of the realms.
Okay, so that's what they're supposed to be. So, and they're supposed to stay on our world the whole time. I mean, all the while, like they're immortal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but ours, aren't with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, you go.
The last millennial registration on Salvington, there were of record in Nebadon 161,432,840 material sons and daughters of citizenship status on the local system capitals. The number of material sons varies in the different systems, and their number is being constantly increased by natural reproduction because they have, with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the exercise of their reproductive functions, they are not guided wholly by the personal desires of the contacting personalities, but also by the higher governing bodies and advisory councils. Okay, so they don't get to really pick their own mates, though. In the exercise of their reproductive functions, they're they're guided somewhat. They're not wholly guided by the personal desires, not of themselves, of their contacting personalities, but also the higher governing bodies. So it's like, yeah, how would you like that? They're messing in who you can when you're an Adam and Eve.
Oh, wow.
Okay, we picked this one for you.
These material sons and daughters are the permanent inhabitants of Jerusalem and its associated worlds. They occupy vast estates on Jerusalem and participate liberally in the local management of the capital sphere, administering practically all routine affairs with the assistance of the midwayers and the ascenders. On Jerusalem, these reproducing sons are permitted to experiment with the ideals of self-government after the manner of the Melchizedeks, and they are achieving a very high type of society. The higher orders of sonship reserve the veto functions of the realm, but in nearly every respect the Jerusalem Adamites govern themselves by universal suffrage and representative government. Sometime they hope to be granted virtually complete autonomy. Wow. The character of the service of the material sons is largely determined by their ages.
Mm-hmm.
While they are not eligible for admission to the Melchizedek University of Salvington, being material and ordinarily limited to certain planets, nevertheless, the Melchizedeks maintain strong faculties of teachers on the headquarters of each system for the instruction of the younger generations of material sons.
Okay, they're kind of their own thing. I mean, yeah, okay. So they don't get to go to the regular Melchizedek University, that's a shame. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe that's appropriate. I'm sure, I guess it's appropriate. That's the way it is.
The educational and spiritual training systems provided for the development of the younger material sons and daughters are the acme of perfection in scope, technique, and practicality.
Practicability. There you have that.
I won't name the movie, but the one that we saw the beginning of last night,
Oh yeah.
where there are beings that look like us, that live on a different
They don't
sphere.
really look like that.
Well,
they're
they
like
look like us, but they're bigger.
they look like Commander Data without hair
Mhm.
and more muscles.
I don't know what the material suns look like. They're visible.
Well, they are visible. They're material.
Mhm.
Well, they're violet. That's the violet race.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah, because we talk about the violet race blending in with us. That's who they were. So they're purple.
Wow.
On some level, either their auras are purple or they have purple skin or something. I think they have purple skin. They're purpley.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's time to go.
time to go. We're going to church today.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day here in Minneapolis.
I hope it's nice where you are. Yeah.
Wherever you are, have a great day.
Have a great day. Okay. See you later. Thanks.
I know.
Bye.
Cool.